Welcome, Carrie.
Thanks, Ian. I'm really thrilled to connect with you all today and be able to showcase some of the things our program has to offer, what our program's all about, and what are some of the exciting things our students are working on within the curriculum at our program. So today I'm going to overview our admission requirements, give you a brief overview of what our program is all about, and discuss things like program highlights around curriculum, what is it like to be a student in fitness and health promotion, and then of course one of the most popular questions is, well, what happens after graduation and where do we see our students working and what types of things are they involved with in the industry? So first, I just want to address the admission requirements. So these are the admission requirements in order to have your application reviewed and with an acceptance, hopefully, in order to join us in fitness and health promotion. So we have English requirements as well as a science requirement. So for your science requirement, you'll see the examples listed there, some of the general common sciences like biology, chemistry, or physics. Or you might have a course that's involved with more of the applicability of the kinesiology or exercise science stream, so that can be accepted as well for that science credit. One of the most common questions I get from students entering our program is, well, who is a health promotion or a health professional in the fitness industry? What does this look like? Or what types of jobs am I looking for? So just to introduce our program, I'm just highlighting some of the key terms or kind of the employment tags you might see with regards to being employed in our industry. So these are people like certified personal trainers. Also, you might hear us referenced as fitness trainers or fitness consultants, perhaps a wellness coach or fitness coach. And those have a very similar meaning in terms of the tasks and duties and jobs that this type of professional does. And we'll talk more about that later. It also might be someone who's a group exercise instructor or fitness exercise instructor. So we differentiate there between a little bit more from one-on-one training or small group training where it comes to exercise delivery or delivering exercise programming in larger groups. Another one I like to highlight is health promoters. So yes, the main focus of a lot of what we do is related to exercise, physical activity, and working with individuals to change their behaviors and improve their sedentary behavior and get more involved with exercise. But the health promotion side is also an area of interest for our students. And this might involve other areas that are related to overall health. And again, I'll give some examples as we get into the career paths of where individuals who might fall down that pathway might work. To start with just a general program overview, we are a 2-year program, so 4 semesters, and we run around the typical 7-1-7, which is 7 weeks of classes, a break week, and then 7 more weeks of classes in both our fall and winter semesters. You have approximately 6 to 7 courses per hour. Most of your courses are 3 hours each. You might have a couple that are only 2 hours, and that's consistent between each semester. You also have 2 field placements that take place in your second year. So you get a total of 150 hours of experiential learning, working with the industry, perhaps with a community partner or with some opportunities we may have on campus. We have different opportunities occurring right now that are both face-to-face, some of them occurring virtually, or some of them a combination of both. But it's 150 hours then that you can put on your resume. Along with that, we also have a seminar that supports field placement, and this focuses a lot on career preparation. So you'll look at things like improving your interview skills, writing your resume, and all those other requirements that are important in preparing you for a job application after graduation. Another important highlight that we have built into our program is the importance of industry certifications. So some of these certifications, you saw them linked to some of those who is the fitness professional. So it's important to consider what types of certifications might lead you down the pathway for the type of employment you're looking for. We work directly with the Ontario Fitness Council for our group exercise certification. And this certification is built into one of your first year courses. And you have the opportunity to challenge the certification at the end of your first year. So at the end of your first year, you could actually become a group exercise instructor. This is embedded into our curriculum we work directly with Ontario Fitness Council. So if you meet the academic requirements, you don't have to take their official exams as we've built them into our curriculum, and then you can just apply apply for your group exercise certification. If you don't meet the requirements, the academic or practical requirements, you can then write the official exams through the Ontario Fitness Council. The other certification that's really important for exercise professionals is one that allows you to become a certified personal trainer. And there are many certification opportunities out there with regards to receiving a certified personal trainer certification. We work directly with the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology, which is considered the gold standard in relation to personal training. And this is because it's the only certification in Canada that requires you to have a minimum of 2 years of post-secondary education in order to be eligible to challenge their certification. So there are additional certifications out there that might have minimal requirements. You might only need, for example, your high school diploma, or perhaps you have to take a weekend course and take some professional development. But CSEP holds the high standard of the need to recognize post-secondary education and the type of courses and curriculum that we're going to talk about next that are important to receive this credential. So I'm working on the planning of this right now with my second year students. So after your 2 years, we hold your practical examinations on campus if you choose. And then your theory exam is written directly with CSEP. So first year, we cover the group exercise certification, and then second year, you have the opportunity to become that certified personal trainer. Another important piece, if you're interested in working with athletic populations, is that the certified personal trainer can be a stepping stone for you to then challenge additional certifications through CSEP, known as your high performance specialization, which opens up individuals that you can work with and prescribe exercise for, and that would be a greater focus on athletic populations. Some of our curriculum highlights are recognized here. So these are some of the highlighted courses that you'll be taking over the course of your 2 years. So your first semester, you do focus a lot, as well as second semester, on some of the theory and background that's important to be able to apply some of your more practical courses. So those are courses like physiology, exercise physiology, anatomy, and then we get into the application of those things. So what happens to the body during exercise in your exercise physiology course, for example, as this is directly linked to administering a fitness assessment and monitoring someone's response to exercise during that assessment, for example, or what happens to the body during resistance training when we overload it. Throughout each one of these courses, we focus on your ability to deliver the assessments in order to teach exercise appropriately. It's not about your own ability to participate in them or your own ability to perhaps complete resistance training type exercises. We focus primarily on your ability to teach others, coach others, and how do you do that appropriately and effectively. We then, in your second year, highlight a number of courses, again, theory and combination of practical experience. So in program design, how do you interview, counsel, and put together an individualized exercise program for someone? One that's not highlighted here, but I should also note, is that you have 2 courses in special populations. And what that means is we talk about how exercise changes for individuals who might have a health condition. So what does exercise look like, or how does it differentiate if someone has cancer or heart disease? Or how do you program exercise for someone who's pregnant, or an older adult, or a child? So you have 2 different programs as well. So they're program design, but for special populations. And we talk about the different things that are important for those specific groups. Nutrition always goes hand in hand with what we do. So you have 1 course there, counseling motivation techniques. This is about, again, working with your clients, developing behavior change strategies. And then we have a couple other courses. I'm going to talk about marketing entrepreneurship and health promotion programming, and some of the experiential learning opportunities we're doing specifically this year within those courses. Why our program? Other important features about our program is that we do a lot of hands-on learning, and we have small class sizes. So in your theory courses, so some of the ones that I mentioned, like physiology, anatomy, you'll generally have those with all the students in your program. So that could be anywhere between 60 and 80 students, usually in your first year. But then we have a number of courses, the ones I mentioned, that are more practical. So fitness assessment, when we're learning how to administer assessments to look look at analyzing body composition, cardiovascular fitness, muscular strength and endurance, or resistance training. Courses like that you're going to have only with about 15 students or less. So there's a few pictures here. You can see some of my students from previous years working on some of this. So we see a student guiding actually another Niagara College student in the top left through the leg press exercise. So this was part of our program design course. We've got, again, former students up in the top there. They're taking a student through a sit and reach, which is musculoskeletal evaluation to look at flexibility. And then we also have some pictures here of our students who were involved with an older adult project where we had some older adults from the community come in, and again, they performed the seniors fitness test with them. So these are some examples of experiential hands-on learning where we practice things with each other in class, and you work on these assessments with classmates and your peers, but then we often involve others from outside, community members, etc., to apply the knowledge as well. I've already mentioned a few of those experiential learning opportunities on that last slide, but here's a few more examples of some of the things that we do. So we try to get involved with community as much as possible when we can, and we've worked on some corporate wellness initiatives. My students are currently working on some fitness challenges that are part of the employee wellness program for Pathstone's mental health. In the past, we've also worked with Canadian Tire Financial Services and their employee wellness program as well, and trying to support the wellness behaviors of the employees of those specific partners. We have another partnership with Tabor Manor, which is a long-term care or independence living center. And with this partnership, this time we had the students actually go to Tabor Manor as opposed to bringing the older adults to us. And they again performed the seniors fitness test on site there with the older adults. With our expertise being in exercise programming and personal training, we try and offer as much opportunity for connection within the Niagara College community as well. So we've delivered exercise programming for OTA PTA students, which is the Occupational Therapy Assistant and Physiotherapy Assistant program at Niagara College. We've offered exercise programming and training for a number of Justice Studies students. So the Justice Studies programs are students like police foundations, corrections, border security, and they often have physical requirements that they have to meet in order to apply for their professions. So our students can assist with their preparation for those and developing exercise program that's actually tailored to their specific assessment that they have to meet for their occupational venture. We also in the past have had a partnership with the winery and viticulture students. And you might say, what's the link here? Well, the students in that program, they're involved with a very physically demanding occupation as well, with a lot of the lifting and things that they need to do and the requirements. So we've helped the students there as well in order to improve their overall wellness and lifting. We offer personal training to Niagara College staff and students. So this is open to any Niagara College staff and employees through their personal training program, as well as students outside of some of the other programs I just highlighted. A few other experiential learning opportunities that have been successful in the past was a 5-kilometer run walk on campus. And this year we're working on a partnership with a couple school boards, which is the Special High Skills Major partnership. And what we're looking at doing here is not only trying to attract students to fitness and health promotion, but just the field and the industry as well, and educate students, those like yourselves that are making decisions around post-secondary education, in order to open up their eyes to what exactly it is we do as exercise and fitness professionals. One of the other exciting opportunities we have within our program is our Exercise is Medicine Club. So our Exercise is Medicine Club is a student-run club that's overseen by one of our faculty members. And they offer supporting opportunities to improve health and wellness, again, to the Niagara College community. So they might host specific activities, promotional events, bringing awareness to the importance of exercise. So it's led by our students, but there also is the opportunity for other students in other programs who just have an interest in health and wellness to join the club as well. This year, as we are operating a little bit more virtually, our students did run some step challenges, both in the fall and the winter, in order to promote the importance of movement. And they actually, last night, some of the results were coming in. So we should be announcing a winner for that step challenge probably early next week. Another important piece to consider is where our program can lead you. So it's important to note that our program is not only looking at perhaps that 2 years of post-secondary education, but it can also be utilized as a stepping stone for students who are interested in a degree in kinesiology or perhaps a degree in physical education. We have a few articulation agreements that have been formalized through a couple post-secondary institutions. And what our articulation agreement means is that they recognize more so our curriculum and the courses that you're taking and apply a more direct pathway than just some perhaps transfer credits to additional post-secondary institutions. So we have a relationship with Guelph Humber University where you can attain your honors Bachelor of Applied Kinesiology. Generally, they're looking for about a 75% GPA after completion of our program. And what happens is you finish up our program in the spring, and then you attend what's called a bridging semester that takes place over May to August. And then you jump right into year 3 of one of their degree programs. So then you complete years 3 and 4, and then you've completed your honors Bachelor of Applied Science and Kinesiology. This is a great opportunity. So within your 4 years, you've got your diploma as well as your degree. Perhaps you've already gotten some certifications under your belt. And in your first 2 years of attending our program, you've also experienced a lot of the experiential learning, applied opportunities that we can offer through fitness and health promotion at Niagara College. The kinesiology route is something that's popular to, I'd say probably about 20% of my students upon graduation, whether it be one of these two options here or perhaps with another post-secondary institution. But the importance to highlight here is what happens with your degree in kinesiology. So I often see students really loving what they're doing at the college level. They love the opportunity to become a certified personal trainer, but they want to do a little bit more. So by completing your degree, you can then become a registered kinesiologist. You can also challenge certification, again, through the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology to become a clinical exercise physiologist, which focuses more on those special populations. Or you might be wanting to pursue a more advanced level of training, which would be, again, a strength and conditioning coach. One of our other partnerships, which is an international partnership, is with Hartbury University. And with this partnership, you also have the opportunity to complete an honors Bachelor in Sports Performance. They recognized our 2 years at Niagara College, and they call it a 1-year top-up. So you would attend Hartbury University in England and be able to complete then that honors Bachelor with one just additional year. And I have a student right now there currently who is loving her time there and getting, again, great additional hands-on experience through this partnership. The link to additional pathway information is also available there if you want to look up any more additional information around how pathways and transfers look. Few pictures on the slide here just to promote our labs. So we have 2 wonderful dedicated lab spaces that are only used by our program. So one of the highlights I like to mention is our facilities at Niagara College. We have both the resistance training lab, which is the larger picture you see there on the left, as well as an assessment lab, which is your top picture and bottom picture on the right-hand side. And what you can see in the resistance lab is there's a removable wall there. So we can either open that up and have this as one very large classroom, which is done in courses like personal training, or when you're in your resistance training and fitness assessment classes, then they're split because we have students working on the specific curriculum of that course. So we've got lots of updated equipment where we can then utilize and apply all of our theory pieces through our practical application. This is where we train those students from other programs or faculty and staff of the Niagara College community. And as well on the assessment side, you can see it's set up more like a traditional classroom with those class sizes then where you'd only be with about 15 students in these classes. At the end of the session today, Ian's going to put a link to a little video one of my students this year created, giving you a glimpse of some of the activities that they complete in this lab. So when you have opportunity to do so, please check that video out. Graduate success. Again, another important piece to highlight is what are our students doing after graduation? So where are graduates working? We generally see our students being involved or employment with private or commercial fitness centers. So that might be some of our more local fitness centers here in Niagara, or larger, more corporate centers like your YMCAs, your Good Lives, etc. They might find employment in community or recreation centers. So again, locally, an example would be our Niagara Falls Community and Wellness Center. I have actually 2 former graduates working there right now, and they're in more of those roles of that health promoter, with the primary focus of sometimes being physical activity and exercise, but also additional health promotion types programs offered to the community to support a lot of different wellness areas. There's also workplace wellness companies who are more companies or organizations that deliver corporate wellness initiatives to employees. So this might, again, include our physical activity and exercise piece, but also leading things like seminars and workshops, that group fitness piece. We also see our students working in more of a clinical setting, so perhaps alongside a physiotherapist or a chiropractor, so to support the rehabilitation on more of an injury-related type of pathway, and getting people maybe through more of a return to work or return to regular activity to support the rehabilitation of perhaps an injury that they have experienced. We have a number of individuals who have been very successful with self-employment, running their own businesses and delivering exercise programming, whether it be in person. A lot of them now transitioning into virtual offerings, and virtual or online personal training is obviously very popular right now in 2021. And then we see some of the activities that they might be completing as well. And this might include things like monitoring fitness center floors or fitness centers, conducting fitness assessments and then prescribing exercise programs. And these would be relevant in any one of these settings. Going hand in hand with teaching group fitness level, or we see a lot of predominance small group fitness right now in the industry. So we see perhaps smaller groups of individuals, 3 or 4 at a time, falling more into that personal training, but kind of lending to the supporting group environment. As we know, when it comes to physical activity and exercise, group support and social support is something that really supports behavior change for individuals. Also counseling clients on health-related behaviors. So we might see a nutrition piece come in here as well, or additional things that the individual might need support with regards to their wellness. And again, delivering various types of health promotion programs. My contact information here for the last slide. If you have any specific questions that I can answer after the presentation today, or if you want to reach out at a later time, you're more than welcome to connect with me directly.
Do you see a lot of students looking at self-employment more so now than before, or kind of about the same?
I'd say we have a little bit of definitely a combination of both. So I can't see the question directly.
Yeah, it was, do you think there's a lot of job opportunity in the region?
In the region? I mean, we have students that have been involved with their placement and things directly throughout, if we're talking about the current situation. So we do still have students actively working in the community at various fitness centers. I have talking to former graduates who were face-to-face or working in more directly within the fitness center. Obviously, with the changes that have occurred with the environment, it's allowed them to open the opportunity to experience online or virtual training and what that actually means. I think the important, or one of the exciting things about our industry right now is when we are more, or we see a greater opening of the fitness centers or allowing a greater number of people to perhaps attend them. This online or virtual training, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. It's almost, it's put us in a situation where it's opened up the opportunity for more people to, again, as I mentioned, be in a very supportive environment and connect people that are at a distance. So we've seen exercise programming kind of explode that way to connect a lot of people, whether it be, you know, the local YMCA's offering online classes where people that actually couldn't maybe perhaps get to a fitness center, now they have the opportunity to log in remotely, even with our chronic populations and trying to support them. So I don't know if that exactly addresses it, but yes, we do have students that are still actively working in the region. And it's just opened the opportunity to say, well, what else could we do? And I think this is going to be with us for a very long time, which is, I think, exciting for our industry to connect, take down some barriers that might have been occurring for individuals, whether it be, you know, they don't have time to drive to the fitness center in the morning, but they can log on and perhaps participate in a 30-minute class before they get their kids off to school. So it's also the opportunity to remove barriers and promote that as well. And so it's exciting. We often bring graduates back in to speak to our students through that placement seminar class, to kind of share what they're doing right now and just how they've changed what they're doing to accommodate the current environment.
Carrie, to your point about the virtual fitness training, I know both my parents are seniors. They're in almost 70 now. And my mom is loving just being able to have her trainer kind of virtually Skype in, and she's in the basement and she's on the bike and does her session. And it eliminates that kind of half hour one way and half hour the other way. And you can shower at your own house and all that kind of stuff. So it's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, just see another question there. Do you think it's difficult to international students about the language? I don't know, Mamta, if you can address some admission requirements more specifically probably than I can.
Yeah, for sure. So of course, Angelica, there are admission requirements in terms of your language proficiency. So you will have to pass that. Once you pass that, we're hoping that you shouldn't struggle with the academics in Canada. Of course, we are here to support you with the additional support you would need. We have excellent resources available with the library. We can, of course, refer you to other resources outside of Niagara College as well to help you kind of build your language abilities. But it is important that you meet the admission requirements. That's kind of like your set mark, which you would need to, of course, pass in order to meet the admission requirements. I would generally recommend international students to kind of aim for a 7 in IELTS or any other language proficiency exams. That's kind of just like the safe grade that you should be aiming for. And that should be able to qualify you for any of the programs at Niagara College as per the admission requirements.
Let's see another question coming there. Do you learn a little bit about all sports? Is it more focused on the gym, for example? Yes, through the group exercise delivery and more of the personal training, it's definitely, I would say we do have more of a predominant focus on individualized exercise prescription and then applying that to groups. You will touch on a little bit of sports, but we don't perhaps, if you're looking for like a course that specifically addresses exercise prescription for individualized sports, we don't have a course that specifically lends us through that. However, we do talk about various assessments for athletic populations from more of a movement standpoint, and then coaching of those through technique, etc. So I hope that answers that a little bit, but as you get into more, I would say, additional post-secondary studies where you get into more focus on athletic types of training, if you want to become a certified strength and conditioning specialist, you end up with a little bit more focus on specific sports in a degree program. Traditionally, in order to work within your scope of practice as an athletic trainer or a certified strength and conditioning coach, you actually had to have a university degree. The new certification through the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology that I mentioned, the high performance specialization, it's actually only been implemented probably just over a year, under 2. So it's now recognizing the capabilities of the college level student or that certified personal trainer to work with athletes, where prior to that, you actually did have to have a university degree. So in order to achieve that high performance specialization after completion of your certified personal trainer at our program, there is additional modules, again, that would focus more on sports and athletic type training that you would have to complete before you take that exam. But it's, again, another exciting piece for our industry to kind of open up the doors for our students at the college level and that certified personal trainer certification.